Hey, welcome back to Cop Gun. Today I've got to go over this new belt we've got. I'm sure you've seen, basically, have you seen this guy? I'm sure you have. You see these guys walk around with these tactical belts. They're like Velcro. Basically, sometimes you see them. This is like the new tactical, adjust my lighting here. Bam! This is like the new tactical Johnny look that everyone's going for now. They've got these belts. Typically your underbelt would be called your garrison belt. Your garrison belt is now this doohickey, which is made out of Velcro, hooks and loops type situation. And what you do with this belt, let me just go over the whole thing soup to nuts. This is the garrison belt. So this would be your underbelt. And it's just kind of a thin belt. I'd say this is a 1 incher, maybe an 1.5 inch. Typically we do, an inch and a half belt. And there is one side that has got a little serrade to it, a little cut. That's the side I usually loop through my pants, my belt loops. I start there. And after you've looped it a few times, the belt just kind of morphs to your stomach and your waist. And it's real easy to feed through. You feed it through your belt loops just like you normally would with any other belt. And when you're done, you just pull with my right hand. I'm just going to cinch in my pants. And with my left hand, I'm just going to add a little tension on that. And that's it. That's on. Part 2 is the duty belt. So the duty belt comes on this. It's a Molly type system on the belt now. So you can put your stuff right on your belt with this Molly gear system. So you're not threading things through the belt. The gun is still threaded through and the gun still floats. See, my gun's kind of floating up there, which is pros and cons to that. I like having the gun floating a little bit because you can adjust it when it gets on your body. So to put this belt on, what I normally do is I look in the mirror and I make sure that when it mates, is going to be kind of on my gig line, which is, when you're wearing a uniform, your gig line's right down the center here. Put this thing together, just like a seatbelt in a car, and you lock it in, and you're good to go. So I got this, like I said in the last video, I was up at the police academy. I got this a little bit before I went in. I switched my gear to it like week 2 or 3 in the academy. And I thought I was not gonna like this because I'm an old school guy and I hate switching. And when you get used to things for a long time, for 20 plus years, and then you gotta switch them, it's always kind of a shock to you. But I switched off and I like it. What I carry on this belt is I carry my asp. I carry a pouch here that contains gloves. 3 mags on this side. So we carry the SIG P320s, 3 magazines with a 17 round capacity per. It's a pretty good amount of firepower that you're carrying per cop. So a total of 4 magazines, because we keep one locked and loaded inside the gun. So that's typically what we carry. So this system here is called the 511 Maverick Battle Belt. All right, on my battle belt, I've got the Safariland holster that's holding a SIG P320 with a red dot and a light. So that is what is inside there. That's a triple retention holster. Back of this is a Safariland glove pouch where I keep my surgical gloves because I use those a lot. On this side here is my asp holder made by the company Asp. So that's essentially what I carry there. Everything else is held up on the Molly vest, on the over vest, okay? So this is the new thing that everyone's going to. This is the new belt system. I'm sure you see a lot of cops around. If you see cops around, they're all going to this belt system. And I've even seen guys that train martial arts and stuff wearing these. Just wearing these around. I've seen some police training videos. I just took some from Police One Academy. There was a martial arts instructor. He was wearing one of these belts. So this is like the rage now, so to speak, the fad. And law enforcement is a fatted type of career where you are going to see things circulate through and circulate through and circulate through, and people are trying to make money because there's a lot of cops out there, and if you can delve into that niche population of law enforcement, and you get a product that takes off and everyone buys it, you're going to be a millionaire. So this is what I just showed you, this Maverick with this is called the belt system. The belt click system is called it's called the Cobra Pro Style. Cobra Pro Style. I kind of like the name, Cobra. Anyone see that movie, the old movie with Sylvester Stallone, Cobra? It's one of my favorites. He plays Marion Cobretti. Cobra, hey, what do you do? So, I'm going to digress. I'm going to get back to the belt. This is the old school belt system. So, old school, we had this leather belt made by usually JP. And this is the JP belt. Yeah, it is. Made by the company JP. I've had this belt for 23 years. So, I want to talk about building things to last. I've had this JP belt for 23 years, going on 24. This is the old belt system. So the old belt system, before I do that, let me show you something real. That if you're not a police officer, make sure you put that right side up. I gotta tighten my mag pouch because I just dropped the mag. If you're not a cop, this might be a part of the job that we don't usually talk about. I'm gonna talk about a part of the job that we all joke about, but the average folk doesn't know about. If you're a police officer, even worse if you're a female police officer and you've got to use the bathroom, right? We all got to go to the bathroom during the day. If you got to use the bathroom, this new belt system kicks butt. It really does. I've got to go to the bathroom. I'm running the PD. Ooh, I got to go. Boom. Take my belt off. Take that off. I'm doing business. With that said, let's show the old belt system. So this is my old leather Garrison belt from JP. Bear with me here as I string it through. A lot of new officers will miss belt loops. In the police academy, that's one of the big things. We check for the belt loops. Even on the road, sometimes I see cops that miss belt loops. Not a big deal. Just something that happens. All right, so I've got my Garrison belt on. So it's a leather belt, steel buckle. This is the old school duty belt, okay? Old school duty belt, 2 mag pouches, Safariland triple retention holster. And what these are called, see these things here? These are called keepers. And this is really what sets this duty belt apart. I love it when I drop things filming. This duty belt apart from that first duty belt, from that Maverick 511 I showed you. So here is this belt, okay? So to put this belt on, I got my Garrison belt on. Lock it in. Slide the mag pouch over. Let me just rewind that. So right here, I've got this little loose end right here. Okay, so typically that gets tucked. There's a button, you push it in. You slide your mag pouch over that. I'm gonna grab my radio holder and I'm gonna slide that to cover the end. See the end of the belt sticking out a little bit? I don't want that. I'm gonna cover the end of that. Usually I hang a radio off that. And then I've got my holster on this side. So, I mean, you see that if you were to rewind that and add up how long it took me to put this on to how long it took me to put the Maverick on, there's a big time savings in the Maverick, but we're not done. Because here's the hidden part of this, right? The keepers. When you wear a belt like this, so it's leather on leather. Look at leather on leather, it slides. So if you're running and you got gear on, it's bebopping and shucking all over the place, which is why you need these bad boys. They're called keepers. All right, so you slide your keeper on. Button it, that's one keeper. You gotta put one behind your belt, behind your gun, because when you go to draw that firearm, you don't wanna pull your pants with it, you want just the gun coming out. So you want it to be snug, especially around your firearm. Keeper number 3 is gonna go on the other side. And as you can tell, this is taking me some time to get this on. And keeper number 4. So here's keeper number 4. And keeper number 4 is now locked in. Put this magazine back where it's supposed to go. It's because I have OCD. Okay, so now I've got the old school belt on. It looks better. I'm not gonna lie, I like this look. I like the Chlorino. This shiny leather, we call that a Chlorino, or we don't call it, it's called Chlorino. I like the gold, I like bling. If you watch my videos, I just did a gold gun video. I don't know why, as I get older, I like gold things, I like blingy things. Maybe I'm dumb and I just like shiny objects. Who knows? That being said, this is the old duty belt. So, you know, getting between this and, you know, the pros and cons between this, it's simple. For me, it's real simple. Female, male. Female's gotta go pee. I've gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I've been on the road for a long time. I've been holding it, right? Been holding it, it's cold. I'm running back to the PD, right? So now I've been holding it for a while on scene, and I gotta drive my butt back to the station. I get to the station, now I'm really, you guys get that feeling, and I can't be the only one, but like if you have to go to number 2, and you're a ways away from home, you can kind of hold it. But the closer you get to home, number 2 is like knocking on the door. It's like, hello, I know you're out there, I'm coming. So it's like the closer you get to the PD, the more number 2 is knocking. So now I'm running into the PD, right? Running in and secure my car, that's taking a second. I run in, then I gotta do this. Drop that, then to my Garrison belt. Not bad. Not bad, but you see that's a few seconds, and under stress, you could have an accident. It's never happened to me. Not 3 times. So I'm gonna put the new one, the Maverick, back on. So now I get the Mav on, just to demo straight. So now I get the Maverick back on. Lock it like a seatbelt, she's in. Same scenario, I'm on the road, gotta go number 2, boom, boom, boom. I can run into the PD. Boom. So you can rewind that, flip that, rewind it, play it back. You can see that there is a big difference in the time it takes to pop that belt off and put it back on, which to me is great. If you can buy yourself a few minutes, also, to make an adjustment, let me just get into the minutia of this. I'm one of those guys that kind of gains and loses weight. I gain and lose weight. If I start training a lot, I'll put on a few pounds. If I slack off or I start eating clean, I'll lose a few pounds. This belt, with the old school belt, constantly getting adjusted. To adjust this belt, you can see all the holes. To adjust this, got to pinch the leather, got to pull that out, slide this and make an adjustment. And then it's not going to be exact, because if you look at these holes, they're like 1 inch apart. So, I mean, your stomach doesn't usually grow a whole inch at a time. Going back to the Maverick, back to this Maverick, this is how you adjust the size. So here's my buckle. Here's my buckle. Let me move the light so we can get a better view. There we go. So here's my buckle. Today I did it sitting at my desk. I put on some weight. So I'm sitting at my desk. I'm like, oh man, this is tight on my tummy. So I want to let it out. I unbuckled it, 2 seconds. I don't even take the belt off. I just click it off. I grab it. I unvelcro it. And I simply slid this thing out a few, maybe a 1/4 inch, a micro adjustment, so to speak. Just a micro adjustment. And then I and then a re-Velcro, and you're done. So all you guys out there, if you're buying new gear, if you're thinking about buying new gear, if you're thinking about buying the Maverick, let me just get it on correctly. If you're thinking about buying it, it's not going anywhere. Went through 16 weeks at the academy with it as a cadre, worked with it on the road. I've run with it. I've done everything with it. And I like it. I like it. I'm not gonna lie. I do like it. I think it's a big advancement forward. I think it saves cops time on the street. I think it's gonna save you time overall. Excusez-moi. So this 511 Maverick belt, Cop Gun's gonna give it 2 thumbs up. I love it. I love it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks tight. The only thing I got a few, and this is hit or miss. I'm gonna say this is hit or miss. I get 50-50. What do you guys think about having a 3 mags? Can you leave it in the comments below? Because I can tell you it's 50-50 with the guys that say stuff. There's 2 camps with the 3 mags. People usually come up to me and they're like, hey, 3 mags, huh? Whose idea was that? That's nuts, man. Why do you need 3 mags? And then there's the other school, right? It's 50-50. The other school of guys come up and they're like, 3 mags, wow. Who's high speed in your firearms program to give you 3 mags? Because that's super high speed. So it's literally in the law enforcement field that I've seen, and I bumped into a lot of cops recently, it's legit 50-50. Some cops are like, that looks so stupid, you look like you're ready for war. The other cops are like, high speed, you are ready for war. We're not out for war, we're cops, we're peace officers out to keep the peace, but it's good to have it and not need it, right? They need it and not have it. So, I know this video is running long. I love all you guys out there. I want to thank you for the support. The channel's already grown a lot further and faster than I ever thought it would. I'm gonna keep pumping these bad boys out now. I'm back, I'm bad. Like I always say, keep your head low in the foxhole. See you on the next one. Cop Gun, we out.